sure that the public interest has priority over the private interests of corporations selling weapons, such as Lockheed Martin, Northrop Grumman spending millions on elections.
Not millions, billions. Don't think small. Okay. You know, thank you for raising the question. Many of you may recall one of the great speeches given in the modern history of America. And it was given by that noted communist Dwight D. Eisenhower. And just as he was leaving office, when Kennedy was coming in, he said, "Beware the military-industrial complex." And he said, "These people are self-serving." And this is coming from the guy who was a four-star general who led the effort in Europe, who knew a little bit about military stuff. And he said, "Beware them, that they're not necessarily interested in the well-being of our country. They're interested in their own power and their own profits." I think what Eisenhower said 50-plus years ago is truer today. These guys are enormously powerful. There is a revolving door where generals and admirals go from the military into defense contractors. So let me just tell you a little bit what we're trying to do on that. Number one, there is no other major agency of government that cannot sustain an independent audit other than the Department of Defense. In other words, their practices are so complicated and so unwieldy that we can't even audit it. So if you wanted to ask me, well, gee, how much money do we spend on this? How much money do we spend on that? The truth is, in many ways, nobody really knows that. But this is what we do know. We do know that there have been massive, massive cases of cost overruns, where companies have come in and said, okay, I'll build this weapon system for you for $5 billion. Well, it turns out to be $10 billion. We do know that virtually every major military contractor has been either convicted of fraud, trying to rip off the taxpayers in this country, or reached a settlement with the government in lieu of being found guilty. So we have every reason to believe there is massive waste within the military. Do we want a strong military? In my view, we do. But we need a military which, like every other agency of government, should be cost effective, and that certainly is not the case now. Yes, sir. Mike.